Yo, 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 yo. Happy Monday. Happy
Not
Monday.
happy. Monday madness. Monday
Oh, okay.
madness.
I was happy. I got some business to take care of today. But of course we here for another session of Who's the Deadbeat. It's just crazy, man. These stories.
What's this?
Everybody just be thinking that they the only ones that's going through it, man. But if we start um if we continue to open our mouth and continue to spread the
Exactly.
word and speak up, man, we're gonna keep raising awareness, man. So I appreciate everybody that's so far and the people that have spoke up, man. I appreciate y'all for helping us spread the word.
Y'all don't even know the impact is given to our community. A lot of people reach out to us on a daily, even more so than before with seeing these stories. So just want to keep pushing and encourage y'all to come on, tell your side of things because again, you never know who you might inspire or who you may motivate to fight for their kids and to get word out that this is happening. So yeah, just what you supposed to say?
And be truthful. That's what I was gonna say. Cause man,
Oh yeah, these people be coming with them
these
receipts.
baby mamas, they starting to get in these inboxes and some of them got receipts, some of them is bull, but we not here to judge. We just giving everybody a platform to to tell their story, and hopefully we can bridge the gap. Because our ultimate goal is to help these kids out.
It's about the kids.
Yeah,
It's I mean, we care about y'all too.
yeah, we
Cause
do.
without y'all can't, foster a great upbringing for your kids. But ultimately people tend to put themselves first. And in a situation where you're a parent, that's just not realistic. You have to give your kid a chance, a fighting chance to be better than you are, better than we as a people um in today's society. It's just not kosher. Like it's not copacetic. It's a lot of craziness going on with social media. We see so much, and these kids already have these barriers stacked up against them. And so, if you're not a good parent, that's just one more thing to really cause your kid to be a statistic. And so, we appreciate all the fathers, mothers too, stepmothers, stepfathers, all parents across the board that's really doing their part to help raise these kids. And so we
With
just
that,
gonna keep pushing and keep getting the word out there, and that's why we here. But we do have a guest I don't want to keep because we'll keep going and going.
yeah.
But let me just say this: y'all know how it go. Before we get started, Who's the Deadbeat is not liable or reliable for any litigations, any court proceedings that you may be involved in currently, and any to follow. Now, I mean, we will try to put in a good word if you say the wrong thing, but this is why we tell you not to do it before we
Yeah.
do it.
Watch out.
Don't
Don't
say
say
no
them
names.
names, man.
Don't say any false statements because sometimes we do have the burden of proof, right? In court and all that. But just keep it clean. Tell your side. We're not telling you what to say. You can be as transparent as you want. We love that. But just keep in mind this video is not gonna come down. So you may want to know that if you come back and look at it, you wanna, know what you did was the right thing.
And you got your story across. That's our main goal.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's hop right into it. Who we got up? Jay Rich.
What's up? Good evening. Good evening.
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm here. I'm living. I'm living.
Okay,
That's
okay.
good to hear.
All right. Well, where you calling from?
Brooklyn, Brooklyn, New York.
We got Brooklyn in the house. Okay.
home, home of Biggie and Jay.
Yeah, most definitely. Most respect for y'all out there in Brooklyn, man.
Are you in a car? Is that your best lighting?
Yeah, because I had to drop my daughter off and I wasn't gonna make it back in time. So I said, let me
Okay.
try to, pull over and turn the light on.
Okay.
Okay.
We appreciate that.
Okay. We'll work with it.
I um Let me see if I get a little.
I mean that's
Yeah,
pretty
that
cool.
yeah, that'll
It
work.
may be the hat that's a little further down if you can lift. Yeah, much
All right,
better.
there we
Much
go.
better.
All
Oh,
right.
okay, okay.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's get started. So we got Jay Rich. from Brooklyn. How many kids do you have?
Two kids.
How
And
many different women?
Only one woman.
oh,
Okay.
okay, good,
Good.
good. That's a
Yeah,
good thing.
I was trying to beat that statistic. So yeah, only one child mother.
Okay. How many? So both kids are being alienated.
Well, my son, he's 19, so he's in college right now. My daughter, she's 8. So it started from my son. It started like when my son was like, I don't know, I would say like 11 years old.
So you've
Like
been going through this for a minute,
for
pretty
years, for
much. So
years.
how was y'all relationship? Not well. I'm saying y'all had a relationship before I even asked you. Did you have a relationship? What was it between you and the mom? Was it a relationship, a situationship, marriage, one night stand? What was that?
Um, it was all right. It was marriage. It was marriage.
Okay. How long?
Um, whew, to me it was 1 year, but I would say it's about 4 years, 5 years.
Who
Okay.
filed for divorce?
So initially I did, but then she was giving me the game. So then she filed, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna let you go. Whatever. We got a kid. Well, at the time we just had our son." She was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. Correction, my daughter was born. I'm sorry." She was like, "I'm
I
not
was
gonna let
about to
you."
say, so you double back after the divorce and got
Yeah,
Yeah.
pregnant again?
that's what happened. I doubled back,
It
and
can happen.
I take my accountability for that and my responsibility. So I did double back because when I left her, when I left the relationship, my son was 10. So everything was good. I was in a whole new relationship or whatever the case may be. She then came at me with the, "Oh, we need to talk," whatever the case may be. So, I went to talk, whatever, one thing led to another. So then I was back in the relationship with her. So that's how I doubled back.
So let's try to get this straight.
I know it sounds
Yeah,
crazy. It sounds
yeah, it
I
crazy.
mean, it be like
be
that.
like
It be
that.
like that. It be like that, but it's my truth.
So
It's my truth.
Yeah.
it's yours, right? So y'all were together. It was some issues. So y'all both were, had said you were separate, so filing for divorce. But you were also in the process of trying to still work it out. So you went with somebody else that had a relationship with another woman, but then she said, "Let's talk," and then y'all.
Double
Yeah. So
back.
then me playing where I messed up, I cut the other girl off to go back because I grew up with my pops till about the age of 16. So I wanted my kids to have me and their mother in the same household. Like I wanted to give them that. I didn't want to like I was trying to break the generational curses,
Right.
basically. So I thought about it, I'm like, damn, let me try to give this one more shot. So then I went back, and then that's how my daughter came.
Oh,
But
So
we were still married. We were still married but separated, but we were still married.
okay.
okay, so take us to when the divorce was final and it went left.
Uh Honestly, it went left when I was in another relationship. She was mad
Relationship.
that I was with someone else.
Okay.
So she was mad I was with someone else.
What was some of the
She
things she was doing?
oh man. I'm trying to think of to word everything nicely without, throwing her under the bus. But all right, we had a blueprint with kids. We was like, we're not gonna curse in front of the kids. If we're not together, we're not gonna bring no one new around the kids until like, months or years go by. All of that we had a blueprint with that. But then I guess because I wasn't in a whole new relationship, she didn't like it. So then she broke that. She started bringing her boyfriend around or whatever the case may be. My kids didn't meet my girlfriend at that time when I walked away. They didn't meet her until 2 years later. But my kids
Mm,
met her boyfriend, I think, like within a couple of months or something like that.
Okay. So you weren't in agreement with anything else because you felt she was bitter with the fact that you moved on.
Yes, yes.
Was she
So that's
still
why she
trying to
was.
make it work at that time? Because I know you said that y'all both played the okay, I'm a foul, you a foul, but you also worked it out, had another baby, and then like what was the issue? Like why y'all couldn't get along? What was the ultimate? Okay, this is it.
For me, I couldn't take the verbal abuse. Like she would like verbal abuse me, like not hit me, but verbal abuse me. And then it was like, yo, I don't want to, because I know men that when they get verbally abused, they lash out, they hit the woman. I didn't want to go through any of that. So anytime me I ever got into any disagreement or argument, I walk out the house. I don't stay in the house because
That's
3 different times, or two or three different times, she called the police on me and said I hit her when I did not hit her. So if I
whoa.
hit if I hit her, if I hit you, why when the cops came you didn't get me locked up? The cops just told me to leave the premises. They was like, whose name is
Please.
on the lease? I was like, her name, because when we got married, I said I don't want my name on the lease because in my mind I knew, it wasn't going to go long term. So I was like, look, just put your name on the lease. I don't want my name on the lease. So, by law, they was like, you got to leave. So I said, okay, cool. I left. But if I hit her, why didn't you get me locked up? You did this two
Yeah.
and three different times. And that's why I messed up because I kept
Well,
going back. That's why I
Yeah,
messed up.
that was a huge red flag right
I
there.
know, I know. And even my sister told me, she was like, yo, why you going back? She called the cops on you one time. All it takes is
Yes.
one time. But in my mind, I had my son on my mind. It was like, yo, because my daughter wasn't born at this time. The first time she called the cops, I had my son on my mind. I'm like, yo, I want my son to be in the same under the same roof with his mother and his father. Like I wanted him to have that. That was my main. That's the main thing I was pushing. I just wanted my son at the time, to have both of us under the same roof. So
Okay.
I kept trying. Basically, you could say I kept holding on, but she kept
for the
pushing me away.
kids. You was doing it for the kids.
Yeah, I was
Like,
doing it for the kids. Yes, I
Yeah.
wasn't doing it for no love, for no marriage. I was doing it for my son.
and we all
So
find out when you do that, it's really more hurtful and more of a detriment, like towards the kids than anything. That is not a good thing.
Yeah.
I
Only
know,
if you guys can really just get along and know that you're amicably doing this, and we're not gonna fight. It's not gonna be any beef. We're just gonna raise them, and when they go off to college, we'll separate, divorce, whatever. But that's rare. Like
that's
that's
right.
very rare
Exactly.
because the resentment is already building as you keep getting into all these different circumstances, and the kids are there to watch. So
I
never
know.
stay together for the kids.
I
That's
know.
my
I know. But
takeaway.
I'm in my. I ain't gonna put my age, but I'm in my early 40s. So I learned that the hard way. I'm not even gonna lie. I learned that the hard way. A lot of my friends was telling me, yo, don't even stick around, just leave. But it gets more why I didn't leave, because she used to tell me if I ever leave her, she would take our kids and go down south, and I would never see them. So that was
So
on
she
my
was
mind. Like,
threatening
She was
that.
threatening you with that?
yeah, I have that in text messages and everything. That's why I said with me, I have receipts. I have
Oh
receipts.
man. Oh
Like,
yeah, she was already that's a form of alienation right there.
I
You
know,
know,
I know.
that's
Straight up.
control. She trying to control you right there.
Yeah. So that's the only reason. I'm gonna speed up a little. That's the only reason why I married her, because she told me at this time, my daughter wasn't born yet, but when we got married, my son was 6 years old. So I basically was forced to marry her because she said if I did not marry her, she's gonna take our son and go down south, and I'm never gonna see them again. So I was scared. My back against the wall. I'm like, damn, what to do? I'm reaching out to friends, like older peers. I'm like, yo, what should I do? Some of my friends was like, yo, let her take the kid, just make a new kid. That right there, I had to cut that friend off. 'Cause I'm like, yo, how you gonna tell me something like that? Like, that's my son. Like, I don't want him to go down south and be raised by a next man. Like, I helped bring him
Nah,
into this world. Just like
Right.
she
most
helped bring him
definitely.
into this world. It's a 50-50 thing. So I wasn't going to do that, like, let her just go and make another kid with
You
someone
did
else.
what
So,
you had, what you feel
So
like you had to
so
do.
so what were some of the things that she did that made it hard for you to be a father to your son at the time?
man, at the time, all right, my son, I had went to get him his cell phone at 10 years old. Granted, she went and got him a cell phone before me. Okay, I ain't tripping. That's his mother. She went and got him a cell phone. So, well, at 10, my daughter's born at this time. So now he had a cell phone. So now when I would get him every other weekend, because I had to take her to court. I had to take her for joint custody, because she told me, you're not gonna get these kids. If you don't give me money every week when you get paid, you're not gonna get these kids. So I'm like, now
Oh yeah.
every man, and I know y'all could agree, every man, when they hear words like that, they start cursing, texting them, threatening, messing. I didn't do any of that. I just was like, oh, word. The next morning, I went down to the court, family court, and I put in the petition. So we was
Smart
in court
man.
for like 3.5 years. We was in court for, and like,
She was trying to fight it?
yeah, she was trying to fight it. She didn't want me to.
That
She didn't want me to get. She didn't want joint custody. So, but lucky thing, I have friends that's like attorneys, so they was telling me like what to do. They was schooling me. So they was like, yo, put this motion in, put that motion in. So I put in a motion for joint custody. She put in a motion for sole custody. She wanted full custody or whatever. So seeing I put in my motion first, the judge was like, wait up,
yeah.
we gonna hear what the son have to say. So I don't know if it's like worldwide, but when your kid is 10 years old, he has his own attorney. So when my son had his attorney, my son was talking to his attorney. He was like, yo, I miss my dad. I love spending time with my dad. I have fun with my dad. I do things with my dad. I'm in the courtroom hearing my son's lawyer say this, and I started to break down inside. I'm like, yo, I know everything I was doing was for good because look what my son is up here saying about me.
Right.
Like
So
he's
how
up
long
here.
was it? How long did she ever keep them away? Like for a long period of time? Keep him away?
Yeah, so 5 months. I didn't see them for 5 months. So
Man.
when she told me you're not gonna see your kids or whatever, that's when I went down the next day to put the motion in. She kept like deflecting on why she couldn't go to court. So I couldn't do anything until we go to our first day in court. So they
Mm-hmm.
told me you can't, see the kids until your first day in court. So I didn't see my kids for 5 months. So
We heard that just the state of New York, New Jersey, all um, along with other states, it's very tough for men to fight in family court, like harder than
Yeah.
most than other states.
Yes.
But when we
you're
all
right.
get down to summing it up, the story is basically the same. But from here, because you took the initial step to fight and you didn't like waste a whole lot of time, and minus the marriage, because you were still there. But once you really, decided I'm going to take action and you went down there and did that, you see that it still was a fight. It's still a fight. But a lot of men just don't even take that initiative at all.
You're right.
So I just want to highlight that part. And before we go any further, we always ask, because we got to ask so that we don't get too far ahead for people to decide what you're telling us. So who's the deadbeat?
Oh, it would be her.
That was
It
too
would
easy,
definitely,
huh?
it would definitely be her. And I just
So
want to throw this
I
out
got one
there.
question for you. So you said y'all was married, right? So how why when y'all got a divorce, when y'all got the divorce, y'all wasn't, you wasn't given time then. Or did y'all have the divorce at that time?
Noah, wait, I'm sorry. Say it again. Repeat that.
So usually in a
Yeah.
divorce, right, in a divorce decree, the custody part is handled. We learned, I think last week, that a different state that wasn't the case for marriages for that state either. So we're asking for New York. It wasn't determined that you got like a joint type of
Yeah.
custody situation or visitation or just your parental rights period when you guys were gonna separate and divorce each other.
Oh no, the with the kids that wasn't in the divorce. It was uncontested. So the kids
Oh,
Oh,
wasn't even.
okay.
okay, okay,
Uncontested.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
uncontested.
yeah, that's what I
uncontested.
was
Yeah.
looking for.
Oh yeah, it was
Okay.
uncontested. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
All right.
I just want to throw this out there too. So I think because like what y'all both said, like what men they don't really win in court. I think the only reason why I won, I had text messages to show everything that I was saying about her when what she was doing to me. Like I would text my son, "Hey son, how was school?" This that, and third. It'll get read, but no response. So I'm like, okay, that's strange. I'll text it again, still no response. So I'm like, now in my mind, I'm heated because I'm like, yo, what's going on? Then when I call his phone, I'm going straight to voicemail. So then one time when my son came over, when the weekend when I had him, I was like, let me go look through this boy's phone. In his phone, I was blocked. That's why
Wow.
when I call,
Wow.
I didn't get through. But if I send a text, because he at that time he had a did he have an Android? No, he had an iPhone. No, I think he had an iPhone. No, he had an Android, then he got an iPhone later. But yeah, with the Android, you can see when it says read. So I'm like, okay, the message is getting read, but no response. So then I would text her because we have no verbal conversation on the phone. Everything is through text. So I would text her like, hey, what's going on with our son? Like I'm reaching out to him. Da, da, da. Oh, he has his own phone. Don't reach out to me. Reach out to him. And I'm like, I'm reaching out to him, but I'm not getting no response. So like I think what she wanted me to go to her house, kick down the door, threaten
Yeah.
her, and then
They
guess
want
what?
to
I do all
react.
that. Police get called. I go to jail. I was smarter than her.
Yeah, but I don't understand why would she think that? Because you said you never reacted,
Yeah, I
Right.
never
even
She
in
reacted.
knows. She know.
arguments.
But again, even if men don't react, women know that they can use them kids.
Yeah,
Them
you know
kids,
you
Exactly.
love your
men gonna
kids.
crash
Yeah.
out for them kids, and so that's
Exactly.
like the last resort.
So
And I
let me
love
take.
my son. Don't get me wrong. I love my son, but when I have my daughter, it's like, yo, I go to jail for my daughter if you even spit on my daughter. So it's like I'm not playing with my kids.
Most definitely.
And
Let
she
me let me
used
just take you back a little bit, real quick. So for that 5 months that you didn't see your kid, how was that like?
it was
Like,
stressful. It was killing me. I didn't know who was around my kids. I didn't know I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know who was picking them up from school. Like I didn't know anything. Like it was really burning a hole in my heart. But I had to just remain calm and not let my emotions get the best of me. So I didn't reach out to her. I didn't text her anything. I just waited till court. I just waited till
So
we went to
what
court.
was some of the things you was doing to keep your mind off of that to help you out?
The gym, I would go to the gym. I hang out with my cousins. I hang out with my homeboys. But honestly, truthfully, when it hurt, it was at nighttime when you're in the house by yourself. You could do
Okay.
all that in the daytime with your peoples, your family, your friends. But when it come trying to go to sleep and you think
Yeah,
about your kids, it's like, yo, this shit killing me. It was
Yeah.
nights I wasn't going to sleep. I would cry myself to sleep because I didn't know what was going on with my kids.
So
Yep.
I'm taking it you didn't have a girlfriend or nothing at that time, right? So you was
At that
doing
time,
it
no.
all alone.
At that time I didn't have a girlfriend. When I walked away, when I walked away, because like I said, when I walked away from her, I already got rid of the girl I was dealing with. So I was, yeah, I ain't have nobody. I was, out there having fun. That's all
so
I
at
can
this
say.
time did she have somebody when she was keeping in this 5 months period?
I think she did, but I didn't get solid proof on it. But from what I was told from my son, someone was coming over, spending the night and stuff like that. But when I would ask her, she'll tell me, "Oh, don't ask me nothing. I'm grown. Don't ask me shit." And it's like, I'm just trying to ask you if someone around our kids. That's all. Because I feel I
Yeah.
have a right to meet who's gonna be around the kids.
That's true, especially if it's going to be a serious situation. If it's not, then nobody should be around them, right?
Exactly.
So how did she use your daughter against you? You said that was the one that you definitely knew, like, hey. So I'm sure she knew that she tugged on your heart just a little bit more because it's like that, right? Your baby
Yeah.
girl. What has she done with her? Because I know you said in court your son, he was able to speak and he said some things, but did you ever really know how your daughter felt? Like, how was that for her?
So I'm glad you asked that. So with my daughter, she's 8 years old. So with my daughter, when I get her, when I pick her from school, I'll ask her how was her day, how was school, you get any homework, how your day went. So it came to my conclusion that when I'm asking her these things, the mother would be telling her to lie to me, to not tell me anything. And it's like, why would you go this slow to have our daughter not tell me what's going on, like what she did for her weekend? Like the weekends I don't have her, it's like, okay, I would ask her, oh, what did you do with your weekend with your mom and your brother? Oh, we did this, we did that. I'm like, okay, is that it? And when you know your kids, you could know when they holding out more from you. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yes, daddy, yes, daddy. And then it was one day she just came out and was like, well, mommy just tell me to just answer that and just leave it as that. And I'm like, wow. So I just left it
Now,
alone.
some gonna say that maybe you was trying to do that because you was trying to see what the mother had going on in her life. So what would you say to that?
Oh no, I wouldn't. What I would say the truth. I was like, no, I just want to know what my kids was doing, what they did with their mom, and that's the thing. I would encourage my kids. I'd be like, oh, what did you do with your mom? Like, did y'all play? Did y'all go out this weekend? Did y'all do anything? And my daughter or my son, they'd be like, yeah, we did this, we did that, this, and that, and I'll leave it as that. I wouldn't go no further to be like, was a guy around? Um, did y'all go to a guy house? I wouldn't take it that to that point.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That I
But of
wouldn't do.
course, she would give a different version of
Yeah.
things.
Exactly,
When you're just
exactly.
curious to
But
know if your kids are, happy, if they're
Happy,
having
exactly.
fun, if they're having a happy childhood, because that's like the biggest fear. Because dealing with somebody who goes to the levels and extent that some of these women do, you just kind of know in your gut that everything ain't all happy. It's something more to it behind the scenes. And I think a lot of parents, that's what they're really reaching for and searching for, that those answers.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I was just asking about my kids. I just want to know how they was doing, how was they day, and it's the same thing. Like if she was to ask the kids what did they do on the weekend with me, I have no problem with what my kids tell them. I would never tell them, oh, don't tell your mother, don't tell your mother I took you here, don't tell your mother we did that. That's not me. Like
in
it's
some in
two of
some
us.
case, some cases you gotta do
Until
that.
until she like it's a blended family situation and she more focused on your significant other than really what the kids did. But we we
Yeah.
we get you.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
so let me ask you this. If she did that with that, I know she was like putting your son in y'all grown up situations, like probably telling him stuff.
So so with that, I'm trying not to like let it get to me. No, because like when I think about it, it's like it be making me want to
If
cry.
think before I speak was a person.
Okay.
Take your
Yeah.
time.
So it's like me and my son relationship. It was like this. It was like this I was there from when my son was born. I was there, um, graduations, open school nights. I took him to school, picked him up from school. Like I am an active father for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like once my son got to 16 years old, I sort of shifted him. And I knew at that time the mother was telling him, negative stuff about me. But I would never ask him, like, what your mother said to you, da da da, this, that, third. I would just always tell my son, like, whatever you're hearing, it's two sides to it. You always got to come and ask me. You can't just run with what you're hearing from your mom or her family side. You got to always ask your dad, because it's relationships where they could be lying on me or lying on the dad, and because you under the roof with them, you're gonna believe it. So
Yeah.
I would always tell my son, like, yo, come and ask me. But my son, he came and asked me here and there, then I would show him like little text messages, like, between me and the mother. And he's like, oh wow, like, I don't know why mom would lie, like, I don't know why she would do that to you. And I'm like, see, it's more to this, but I'm just showing you a snippet of what I go through or what I had to go through just to be in y'all lives. And my son
Yeah.
would look at me like just dazed, like, yo, I didn't know that.
How old
So
was he at the
he's
time?
he's oh, at this, wait,
Yeah, at the time that you were showing him those messages.
oh, and I showed him the messages at that time. He was 15 years old.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, some people, not that we care, but
Uh,
when you going through this stuff, a lot of people cannot relate, and we know it's do's and don'ts to this stuff. It's a very, very thin line on what you should and shouldn't be doing. But when you are fighting, when I literally say fighting for your life and fighting for your kid's life, in terms of somebody trying to destroy and damage and psychologically just create all this
Mm-hmm.
turmoil where they hate you, people become desperate and they tend to forget, the do's and don'ts, because hey, it is a war. It's a war. And so just because you said you showed them the messages and that is a snippet, people will probably judge you based on that and say that that's not fair. You shouldn't have been putting him in it. But the reality is he was already placed in it when he became alienated. And so they have to understand how this works. And sometimes we do take the fall and you just got to check yourself. But I'm not, judging you for doing that, because at the age of 15, he's pretty much already kind of there. And there's not pretty much more you can do to but salvage the relationship y'all had that somebody else is trying to destroy. So,
And his innocence was probably gone at that point
yeah.
because he's been around the drama. He's been put in it, So at this point, when they
I
when
think
they
y'all mic is off, Jay.
is it
hello.
all? Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So when he's talking or he's asking these questions, he's got this false reality. So he's trying to get the answers because he's already don't believe something.
Mm.
So
We
it's
definitely like
yeah,
support, like stand with parents, just keeping the receipts, keeping your documentation, giving your kids a chance to remain innocent as long as they can. But every case is different, every kid is different, and you have to
Exactly.
make that choice as a parent to decide, okay, when is it time to release this? Because you know some stuff you just it's nothing you can do about, and you have to just move forward with, hey, this is not that, because it really messes these kids up. And if they think for some reason that one parent is good and the other parent is bad, they carry guilt, they blame themselves. It creates all these problems. So sometimes, a lot of times, parents are trying to save the kid when they're showing the proof, not so much as themselves or to make the other parent look bad. But when you're on the defense, at that point you just trying to win. You just trying to beat the opponent to the point like, hey, enough is enough. Like, we gotta live in this truth. This is what's happening. I'm not the problem. I need you to know I got your back. This is just what we dealing with, and move forward. And when he get older, or your daughter, they can learn more. And again, this is still their mom. So I know just off of how you carried the interview that you not a dog BAN, like you just want to go in and just be like, look, this is I hate this and that, because some men do, like you said. But if you the king are not reacting, that's best for your kids, because I know that they know that they can see that in their father, like, it's not my dad.
Yeah, because
so
and the thing with that, I showed, like, I didn't show everything. I just showed like little, I would be like, oh look, I text you the other day, I got no response. I text your mother, this is what she said to me, and I left it as that. Like, I didn't go in depth with
In
everything because
depth.
Yeah, I didn't go in
Gotcha.
depth. Yeah, so let me. Yeah, I should have made it more clear. I didn't go in depth. I just showed.
Even
You know,
better.
I reached
That's
out.
even.
Your mom. This is what she said to me. So I didn't argue back with her, and I left it as that. So
So with your daughter, did she experience any of that, being told stuff about your relationship, or
um, it's
She
about
probably,
she,
if going back. No, I'm not trying to answer. I'm sorry for cutting you off. But
uh,
just thinking about how you said she told her to lie, and her being younger, and the relationship already being over, she didn't get what your son got. You know what I mean? As far as the most of y'all being together, y'all was pretty much over with when she came about. So, do you think that she was more alienated than your son? Like it was more impactful towards her than him, or do you think that they both handled it kind of the same? Because it kind of seemed like your daughter was the one that she really was able to manipulate further because she was younger.
I was. I would say yeah. I would honestly say yeah. She's 8 years old, but yeah, I would say yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely say yeah.
so?
Um, the other day, well, not the other day, like about last year, I would say my daughter came to me and asked me about, when you and mommy were married, and she said some stuff to me, and I'm looking at, it, I'm like, where did you get that from? And she's like, mommy, and I just left it as that. I was like, well, if mommy told you that, then go with what mommy said, because at that last year, yeah, she was 7 years old. I could have went in and told the truth, but I'm like, she's seven, her mom can't impact all what I want to tell her. So I just
Exactly.
like whatever mommy told you, just run with what mommy said. If mommy
Exactly.
told you she did this, she did that, then run with what mommy said. Because I know in my mind, I know when she gets to that age, I'm gonna have them receipts. Like I have a pile of receipts just waiting, a
So
pile,
so
and
how
it's
how
sad.
it- so how is your kids' relationship?
What with each other?
Yes. Do
Well,
you
it's
think
not.
they affected by, because normally when one parent alienate one child more than the other, it's because one of the kids is
It's on to their
get on to
bullshit.
their bullshit and question them about certain things. So they tend to
Favor.
favor the one that they can manipulate
Hmm.
the most. So and that ultimately damaged the kids' relationship. So that's why I'm
I mean,
asked.
aside from this,
Uh,
is she a good mom? Like, what? How do they feel?
Oh nah.
And I know,
um,
look, we finna get another pause. Okay, y'all, we just got to
yeah.
pause
Let
on
me
this.
let me let me let me skip that because I could go in, but I'm not even going to touch that. Uh, yeah. Let me just skip
Okay.
that.
Uh, okay.
So
I'm
we
gonna just
just gonna put a thumbs up or a thumbs down. No, I'm just playing.
I,
yeah.
Nah.
Let me just skip that because I could be here for hours
Oh,
telling y'all some stuff.
okay, well let's go back to do you think she treat one better than the other, or I mean, how is your kids' relationship?
In my eyes, I feel she favors the son, our son more
mm.
because I feel she can manipulate him more. And my daughter, she's everything like me. Like
Oh, okay.
when my friends met my daughter, like female friends, homeboys, when they met her, they like, yo, that's your daughter. That's your daughter. So
Okay.
when they met my son, they was like, yo, like I think the mom got into his head, like she got to him. And I'm like, yeah, you see it, right? And I just leave it as that. But yeah, I think she got to my son more.
Well, it's good that you said that because hearing your story and the way it went, that makes sense that that could be the case as well. Because again, your son was around more with y'all together as a couple, and your daughter wasn't. So it's kind of like in reverse. Like this, is my dad, you my mom. Like she's gonna just go with what she knows as much as she knows, but he knows more. And so he's been around a lot longer, and it's been his mother a lot longer. And so if she knew that she could, work that, that's what's happening.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And
Yeah.
I have some friends. They would say, "Yo, cut your son off. Don't mess with him." Like, yo, the mom got some, but I'm not like that. I just want when he gets it when he sees the truth and he sees something going on, he be like, yo, this is what my dad was talking about. My dad been around since day one in my life and in my sister life. Like my dad ain't jump ship. I've been around since day one. I
Right.
was at the hospital when my son was born, at the hospital when my daughter was born, took both of them home. Well, my ex-wife as well. Like, I wasn't no part-time dad. Like, I left the streets alone to be a father. Now, there's so many dudes out there that they still in the streets. But I was like, yo, my kids need to have a father in their life. In their life. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna be there for my kids. And I'm still there for
Well,
my kids.
he said some things at court that was in your favor. Do you think that it's changed since then? Is that what you're speaking of? Because take us there. Like, where are you with the court
Yeah,
order? Like, get us in the family court system part of it.
Well, with the family court, I get my kid. Well, my son is 19, so he's off the order because once you're 18, they're off.
yeah,
So
Right.
I get my daughter every other weekend. I pick her up from school. It was
No, go back from when he was still on the order. Like, how has it been up until this point?
well, when he was on the order, I would say everything was good. It was good at that
No
time.
violations, no drama, no just clear cut, follow the order, get your
Oh no, no,
kids.
it was some lies. So when my daughter was 1 years old, her first Christmas, it was the weekend I was supposed to have my kids,
Okay.
and she lied to me and said the kids are sick. So when I spoke to my
uh,
son, and I still, mind you, I have all this in text messages. I spoke to my son. I'm like, "Are you okay, son? Like, how's your cold?" He's like, "My cold? What are you talking about, that?" I'm like, "Aren't you and your sister sick?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, I left it as that. I was like, okay. I was like, cool. I was like, well, it's the first Christmas, which I was supposed to be with your sister, but mom said someone was sick, so I left it as that. I didn't even go in and say, oh, this lying bitc. I didn't do any of that. I just left it as that because
So
my son
you
already gave me the
just
answer.
didn't get them for that Christmas, for that
Yeah, yeah,
this time.
yeah. For my daughter's first Christmas, I did not get my daughter for her first Christmas.
So what happened next? You didn't like she didn't
Well,
keep doing this, or like what was the patterns?
so what happened was at that time we were still in court. So I just brought it to my lawyer. I was like, look, this is what my son said to me. My lawyer looked at it and she's like, oh wow, she lied. I was like, yeah. So she brought it to the court's attention and they asked her like, why did you do that when your son said something totally different? She said, oh, I mean, I can't really remember, so I'm not even going. I don't want to lie on her, so I can't remember
yeah.
what she said. But she basically was like, oh, I thought they were sick, basically, like what she tried to say. Exactly. Same thing I did. Same thing I did.
Man,
Oh,
go,
wow.
man.
Same thing
That's
I
Okay.
crazy.
did.
So, what has it been like? Because I know you guys had to be around each other for like your son's graduation and
Yeah.
stuff like that. You moved on? She moved on. Is it like better now today? Like I don't
No,
know because you
no,
you wanted to tell your story. So why are we here? Like why did you want to join the platform? What
no.
is it that you want to get out?
It did not change, and I think it would never change. Honestly speaking, I think it would change if I'm dead. I think that's what she want from me. Like,
Wow, that's
she didn't
tough.
have
Bitter? Why?
she didn't have her dad in her life growing up. Allegedly from what she told me, she didn't have her dad in the picture. All right, granted, you meet someone who wants to be a dad or whatever the case may be, and you're keeping the kids against me because we didn't work out. We didn't work out because it wasn't working. So we didn't work out. So now I'm alienated. I can't see my kids. I'm being told I'm a deadbeat. I don't do anything. I don't do anything, but I've been around since day one. Like, make it make sense. Like,
Exactly.
how am I a deadbeat? Like, I missed parties. I've missed road trips with friends to be there for my kids. So how you gonna call me a deadbeat? But I know the narrative by some women, not all, by some women saying that it's to get the man upset, him furious, him threaten you. Nah, I ain't do any of that. Cause I know in my heart, and she know in her heart, and her family know in her heart, I'm not a deadbeat. Because I've been around
And
since
this
day one.
and this is why I tell you, say like people shouldn't use that word because so loosely. Because
Yes.
deadbeat sticks.
Yes.
It sticks with a
Exactly.
man no matter
It
what.
tarnishes its reputation.
Yes.
Eh,
So and they use that basically as something like control when they
yeah,
can't get their way. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't women, if y'all listen, don't use that word unless the father of your kids is not there at all. Because if
Right.
somebody's
Unless it's
paying
well
money
served.
and they trying to see their kid, you can't call them a deadbeat because a deadbeat
Exactly.
don't do none of that.
And
exactly.
not to mention, it's not even just about the man. Like, cause baby, some of these mamas, don't let me go there.
No,
Like, honey, y'all think y'all got it all together cause you mommy. But baby, you could be a deadbeat too.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We see how these kids be looking. Not to mention you getting that child support, but your kid look like he just came off with Annie and them singing "It's a Hard Knock Life."
Thank
Not to
you.
mention they know every boyfriend you ever had. Not
Thank
to
you.
mention you ain't teaching them shit. They struggling in school, bad grades. Like, so you a
That's
deadbeat
facts.
too.
That's facts.
You a
Exactly.
deadbeat too. And that's why we
Exactly.
created this platform because everybody always think that a deadbeat just attaches to men. No, it does not. So what are y'all calling these not just from a woman being bitter, baby mama, but what do you say about her actions towards her child? Because it could be a
Exactly.
woman that could hate their kid's father and their kid is still straight. We gonna still call you what you are, but no, most of them are really deadbeats. Most of them are
Exactly.
really deadbeats. These kids are losing. Losing.
And
So
let me
have you dealt with that?
Well, he said she was the
Oh,
yeah,
deadbeat.
he
she was the
said he didn't
deadbeat.
want to speak on it. Okay,
Yeah, she was the
I ain't
deadbeat.
gonna force
we'll,
you.
But
we'll
let
keep it clean.
let
We'll
me let
keep
me
it
show you
clean.
something. Something else she did. So for my son's fifth grade graduation, we were together. Fifth grade graduation. When he graduated from sixth grade, I said to her, I said, look, well, because we was done at that time. So I said, I was like, look, our son don't have a picture with us in it together. Let's give him that. My kid's mother looked at me and said, I don't want no effing picture with you in it. And I'm like, you don't have a picture with your dad, and then when you graduate, I don't have a picture with my dad when I graduate. So why we can't give our son that picture? She straight up
Yeah.
said to me, I don't want no
Oh, it was
picture with
just
you
a
in it.
graduation picture.
Yeah, it's a graduation picture.
Oh yeah.
The mom, the
Yeah, I
dad, and
mean
the
it's
child.
that's very stand up for you to even be thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? That because that's the
Exactly.
little things. The little things do count. And it's funny because me and my husband was just talking about something similar to this because like these pictures of when they were together is resurfacing and it's like why this man is going on damn near a decade being married to somebody else. It's not for the kids at that point, but yes, we said that like graduations or pictures together with the kid involved, like at they birthday parties or something for their memories that they want to have of their parents when they grow up. But if
Exactly.
it's other than that, or the motive is, malicious intent to try to paint a different narrative or use it to hurt somebody or cause chaos, why? But in your case, that wasn't it. You was just saying, let's give this to our boy so he can have, something. It wasn't all bad all the time. Like we
It, it,
did come together, get married, have him. So at least give him that at least. And
it,
they don't want to do that.
and
So
she didn't see the bigger picture. We have no picture with my son in it when he graduated eighth grade or high school, and I have no picture even with my daughter when she graduated pre-K and kindergarten. We have no pictures with us in it together with our child, and that's all I was trying to give our kids. And she just straight up told me, no, I don't want no picture with you in it. And I was like, I left it as that.
so bring us to today. So how is it today? Y'all co-parenting situation.
It's co-parenting is trash because I'm still being lied to. I'm still not knowing certain things. My daughter, and it burns my soul because it's like I want to tell my daughter so much, but I know I can't. She's only 8. So my daughter at her school, she's in third grade. She be having like these little
Recitals and stuff.
recitals and stuff like that. I don't never know about them. So when I pick my daughter up from
Like the
school,
daddy daughter dance and stuff, she doesn't like get you
nope,
involved.
nope.
That is
My my,
that's
my,
diabolical.
my daughter had it's funny because I just got an email from a school about her fall dance coming up. It's next Friday. The mother is not going to tell me. She's not going to inform me. But next Friday, I actually have my daughter. So when I pick my daughter up this Thursday, I'm going to ask her, like, hey, do you want to go to this dance? I'll pick you up early so we can go to the dance. Because the mother don't tell me anything. And it hurts
But
because
yeah,
when my
but
daughter,
you gotta get more involved with that too as well, man.
no,
With
but
that
see,
school.
no, with the school, here, I'm glad you said that. So I had to go up to the school to ask to put my name like on the email list and all that stuff. They
Yes.
they looked at me and was like, are you the father? I'm like, yes, I'm the father. I had to go get birth certificate to show that I'm the father. So when
Your
they saw
court
that,
Yeah,
order,
your court order.
all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So when I showed that to them, they was like, "Oh, we just have to follow the protocol. We can't, add the dad if we don't see proof this that." I'm like, "Yes, I'm her father." Like, what are you talking about? I went through the same thing with my son when he was in sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade. I had to go to school every year to re-put my name down
And
on the
she
on the
knows she's
blue on the
supposed to
blue.
give him that order when she registered and put your name down as emergency
I mean, is
contact.
it in your order? Because I know different states do different things.
No, it's in the order now. From when my son was in seventh, eighth grade, yeah, she put me on the blue card then. But for my daughter, I had to literally go up to the school and write her name out. Like I even had to take a picture of it to show my proof that look, I came up to the school and had to fill my own name out, put my address and phone number because they didn't have me down. I mean,
Oh yeah,
now she probably put me down, but it's funny with the schools because they don't want. Sad to
they
say
just
it, no,
take the mother's word. The
Yeah,
mother is
exactly. They take the
always substantiated.
these
exactly.
women dominant
Dominant.
industries.
Exactly. And it's sad
Yeah,
because
Look,
they stick together, baby.
they do.
yes,
They do. And I'm glad I didn't flip out at her school. I just was like, yo, can I just sign my daughter name now? I had to go speak to a teacher, give my number. I'm like, look, I am her dad. One of the teachers, I'm not even going to throw it out. Well, I'm not going to drop no names, but one of the teachers was like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, I'm her dad. She was like, oh, okay. So like, well, yeah, give me a number. Anything that's going on with the school, I'll contact you. And she did. She reached out to me. She let me know what was going on. So I was going up there because only through the teacher. But through the school, when you go to the office, they didn't have me down on the blue card.
Yeah, that's another thing, and I'm glad we touching on this because we don't say it enough, right? We always just talk about the backlash that men get just from society or just from the family. But them schools be full of deadbeats too. Y'all deadbeats
Exactly.
too, for the record. Because
Yep.
anytime somebody come in there and they want to see about their child, what the hell is y'all holding them
you
hostage
got
for?
to do this,
Because
that.
in real life, if
Exactly.
that bell ring and that mama ain't there on time, then you're gonna be trying to push them out the door anyway. So what's the real life connection? Because they don't give a damn about these kids, but they will send a man through the ringers. Do you hear me? Oh, what? Who are you? Oh, they in danger.
Yeah.
But but in real life, they be in danger at home.
Exactly.
So y'all not doing y'all jobs. They mandated reporters. They ain't reporting shit.
That's a
Like,
fact.
so those schools, yeah, y'all better get y'all stuff together because that's gonna be a whole nother thing that we
But
gotta talk about and get these men on their toes about. You
and
gotta go to them schools and you gotta get them orders and you gotta stay on top of them teachers and make sure that you know what's going on with your kids in them classrooms.
And
it,
make sure that y'all have that in y'all order, because a lot of men don't know that the order is broken up
Yeah.
in
oh no,
education, and
mine is in my order.
you can have physical custody, but not have custody over the education
And
part of
the
the
legal
order.
side of
Exactly.
things.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so y'all got to make
So
sure y'all be in tune with that.
here's the thing with that. When my son graduated high school, he was going to college. As per the code, I'm supposed to know, like, to go to the school and look at his school and all that stuff. Because I went to the college my son goes to now, the mother didn't want to go when I was going because she was like, she didn't want to have nothing to do with me. And I'm like, I didn't stress it. I took my son. We went up to Queens, New York, where we went to see about the school. And I was like, oh, your mom ain't coming. He's like, no, dad. She said you was bringing me. And I'm like, okay. So I reached out to her. I'm like, you could have came too. Oh, I don't want to be around you. And I'm like, yo, you're that petty and that bitter. Like, this is for our son,
What?
not just my son or your son. This is for our son. And that's the thing too with her. When she talks, it was never included as our. Everything was her, 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 her,
Yeah.
her. It was never our. Every
Yeah.
time I
Oh
speak,
yeah.
I always say our kids or our child. Well, at the
So
time,
how do her
our son.
boyfriend or her husband, whoever she got, how do he feel about the situation? You never.
Oh man, this is why I wanted to rock with you guys. Okay, when she like I said in the beginning, we talked about if we get somebody new, we're gonna have them meet or whatever. I never met the boyfriend in the beginning. He was always a secret. Um, he would be hiding in the car like I didn't see him because I had people put me onto what was going on. So I'm like, oh, that's him right there. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, look, I hear you got somebody. Like, I think I need to meet this dude. Oh, you're not meeting nobody. I don't want you to meet anybody. And then so you could lie on me. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, we have a daughter. Yes, we have a son too, but we have a daughter. Like, I don't want
Right.
any man around my daughter. Like, you crazy? So
Yeah.
Right.
when I got into my relationships, I had told her, I was like, look, through text, I was like, look, I'm in a relationship. I was like, it's been 2 years. I think I would want you to meet the girl I'm dealing with. She straight up told me, F you, F her. I don't want to have anything to do with that. As long as our kids are good, that's all I care about. I'm like, so you don't want to meet this woman? You don't want to see where her head is at? You don't want to see if she's a good mother figure. You don't want to know any of that. She's like I said, I don't want to know anything as long as our kids are good. I left it as that. Just like I never met him. I saw him on many occasions,
Man,
and
this sounds like a case of she probably still wants you.
Yeah,
yeah,
something ain't right about this because you
everyone.
cannot like. I don't know if because you have been pausing for a lot of times. I don't know if you cheated on this lady or what you did, but she really, really, really
It was just
either
I
she
Yeah.
left.
either
It
she madly in love with you or
it
she hates your ass. Cause
no, it's
ain't
just
no
that
way you still carrying on all this time and you are really just strictly trying to do what you got to do for the kids. Like, what's the beef? And you
it's
with
be
somebody else. Like, bring them. Come on,
it's
let's
all
do
it,
this.
it's all because I left the marriage and I was her first, first with everything. So she felt like
You
I
gave
abandoned
up.
her, like I played her, and I'm like, yo, I
Oh,
wasn't happy. I'm not gonna stay around, and then I'm miserable, and then I'm beefing at you for every little thing you do. It's best I don't be here. You heal, you find yourself. I heal, I find
She
myself,
ain't
and we
gonna never
good.
do that. It ain't gonna never happen because you said, all right, so you said you meet the boyfriend, right?
Yeah, well, I saw we never met like cordially, like, oh hey, I'm Jay. Oh hey, I'm such. We never met like that because every time he would be around, it's like she's in the middle, like she didn't want me to come over. So I just said, you know what, I ain't gonna push the issue no more
I
because
highly doubt you will have a conversation with him about her,
Yeah.
exactly,
about
like why
you
do
and
I need?
her, and what y'all went like. Come, who does
Hey,
that?
Do he
thank
know where
you,
you live?
huh?
Do he know where you live?
Yeah, she probably told him,
See,
That's not
and
fair.
that's not cool, man.
and I don't know where he lived. Only thing from people I was in connection with, they just told me where he be at. Like I don't know anything else, but I needed to know something because if anything happens to my kids, I need to know where I'm going. Like
Yeah.
I need to know where I'm going, and I need to call my
How
mother. Like,
long
yo,
has he been around?
um that's thing I don't know because I don't know when he came into the picture.
Oh yeah, that's she.
So
That's crazy.
from when I started hearing about him, my daughter was 2. I think my daughter was 2 years old when I started hearing about him. Because one day my
Mm.
son was talking and he slipped up and was like, yeah, because mommy friend spent the night. And I'm like, mommy friend? I'm like, what do you mean mommy friend? And then he just was like, oh yeah, mommy friend comes over some nights and spend the night. And I'm like, where do you be? Where did your sister be? Like I was asking all the questions. I'm like, wait, who's this guy? And then when I
Like,
asked
what's
her,
the secret? Like,
it,
if it's all good and it y'all not together, like, and it's no hanky panky, like no
Yeah.
BS behind the scenes, what is the problem? Like, the kid's not even comfortable. Like, she's making everybody uncomfortable. Went off for what? Cause you divorced her?
yeah, all because I divorced and I didn't want to be with her. Like
So what? So what you? So if it was a if it could work out perfect, what would that be for you? If it was a perfect world,
if it was a
and
perfect world, what I would
yeah,
love to be involved with what's going on with my kids. I would love um if she's not doing anything with the kids and I'm free, let me come grab the kids, take them out to eat. Um, let me take them somewhere. Like that's what I would want. I don't like this animosity, this drama stuff because it's not good for our health and it's definitely not good for the kids because the kids are seeing it. And when the kids see it, the kids going like I don't want when my son get in a relationship, he don't know how to treat a woman because his dad couldn't be in the picture to show him how to treat a woman. She want everybody else to play my part. And I'm gonna throw this out there. She has a sister. Her sister's married. When my son was going to college, I do text message. I text my son. I'm like, hey son, I'm gonna take you up to school, whatever the case may be. This and third. He's like, yes, Dad, I would like for you to take me up to school. This and third. I was like, yeah, because we could bond in the car. We could bond in the car. I could talk to you about college and this and third. When the morning came for me to go get my son was like, oh Dad, I'm gonna drive with mommy and my that would be her uncle, his uncle-in-law. Yeah, his uncle-in-law. So I'm like, son, then we said we was going to drive together. He's like, oh yeah, but I'm just gonna drive with mommy. When I tell you I had to drive 2.5 hours upstate, like with the anger in me, it's like, yo, should I just when I get there just snap on everybody? Like it was burning me. Cause it's like, yo, you
man, that's
haven't you told
crazy.
you
Like,
you
don't you
told
ever step in front of my moment with my kids, man.
Exactly.
exactly.
Like,
Just like
if
my
that man, he should have knew. Like, man, where's his father at? Like, and
exactly.
that's what I don't understand about certain guys, man. How they don't step up and say certain things in certain moments.
Bitch, Maggie.
Exactly. And and I'm gonna speed up. So This is October. In May, I text my son. I was like, "Hey son, you coming home for your summer break?" I was like, "Do you want me to come and get you?" He said, "Yes, Dad. I would like for you to come and get me." I was like, "Okay, I know you got tests and all that going on." He's like, "Yes, my test is over." I think he said May 7th. So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna take off for work and I'm gonna drive up there in the morning to come pick you up because you got to be out your door by 11 in the morning." When the day before come, when I'm supposed to go get my son, the mother texts me and was like, "Hey, could you get our daughter?" I'm like, "No." I said, "I'm going to pick up our son." She was like, "Why are you going to pick up our son?" I was like, "Because he's getting out of school and I'm going to help him with his bags to bring him back to Brooklyn." She was like, "Oh, I don't know about that because he didn't tell me anything." So now I reached out to my son. I'm like, "Hey, son, did you tell your mother I was coming to get you?" He's like, "Yes, Dad, I told her." So I'm like, "So why your mother telling me you didn't tell her?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know, Dad, but I told her you were coming to get me." Again, she keeps lying to me, lying to me, lying to me. Like, I only went
Yeah.
to take my son up to school one time. One time. She has her sister's
But
Yeah.
I don't
husband
understand how she's still trying to control the
Control the
situation.
situation.
He's
He's
19.
older.
Yeah.
because she manipulated him that good. She's a good manipulator. That much I can say on the air. She's a good manipulator.
That's probably why she don't want you to talk to that guy. That's how manipulators work. They try to they like to isolate everybody.
Everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
another time, I bumped into a friend of hers or whatever. This was years ago. I bumped into the friend. The friend ain't want to say what up to me. I'm like, "Yo, what up? What's good with you?" She's like, "Oh, don't talk to me." I'm like, "Well, what the hell's wrong with you?" "Oh, I heard you a deadbeat. You don't take care of kids." I'm like, "What? What the hell are you talking about?" "Oh, she told me all this." I was like, "Wait, what?" Right away, I had my receipts. I'm like, "Yo, look at these text messages." I'm showing her. She's like, her face dropped. She's like, "Oh, I didn't know any of this." I'm like, "Exactly. So you running
Right.
with what your friend is saying, but look, the proof is right here. That's her cell phone number. That's her name. So tell me I'm lying."
I
She's like, "Yo,
always
I didn't
tell
know this.
people
I didn't
that
know."
if you're gonna
Stay
call
out of it
you gonna
then.
call somebody a deadbeat, you better go try to dig deep and try to get some real
Ex-
information on it.
exactly.
Because you can't just go around here just saying that, man, and calling anybody a
And
deadbeat.
then they make you look crazy because every time you come in contact with somebody that you know that they don't lie to, you trying to prove yourself. So it's all this talk about them, making them even more relevant than they need to be. And so every time somebody see you, here he come, because they know you're gonna be going to the bat about your kids and what's going on. Like, no, y'all not just gonna be saying this shit about me and it's not true. And so now you looking like the crazy person. It's just a bad way. It's a smear campaign. It's just a bad way to do somebody that you know is a good parent to
It's
your
right.
kids. Why
Yeah.
would you, why are what do you
Hey,
get out of stripping that from your kids?
I don't know what I only thing I can say, and I think that's what it is because she didn't have her father, and I'm active in my kids' life. She's just jealous that I'm around. But don't be
Yeah.
mad at me. Take that up with your mother. Don't take that up with me. Take that with your
okay.
mother why your pops wasn't around. Like, I could go in and say more, but I'm not going to throw under the bus because,
So
You said enough.
so let
yeah,
me
I said
ask you
enough.
this before we get up out of here. So if it was anything that you can do better, what would it be?
I wish I didn't meet her. I mean, um, um, if it was anything
Don't
I
we
could,
all? Don't we all?
if it was
Don't we
anything I
all?
could do
So
better, um,
For the
I wish I could go
situation.
back. I wish I could go back to the day when I could have walked away from her instead of being with her. That's the only thing I could honestly
yeah.
say.
But
And bringing kids
do
and
you think it would have been a better situation, or it just would have been one less kid?
I don't want to say one less kid because I love my daughter, but I just
Oh,
would have wished.
most
I wish it would
definitely.
have been a better situation.
Okay.
I
yeah.
really wish it would have been a better situation.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
crazy because how we met under the circumstance of a lie, but I mean, it is what it is. We met through
Who lied? You or her?
no, she lied. She lied to me.
What was the lie?
You finna pause again.
You got to give
Now,
us something.
no, I'm gonna
We
tell you. I'm
got to
gonna
get
tell
the
y'all.
sweet, sweet old something.
So how we met we somewhat met through my cousin on online on like AOL back in the days, early 2000s, everybody online.
Yeah.
So she sent me some pictures. Come to find out, the pictures that she sent me wasn't her.
She
So
catfished you.
yeah, she catfished me. So
Oh
I mean,
damn! But you still went in after you seen her in person, so I mean they wasn't too bad.
honestly,
Man,
I went in because like I'm not even gonna lie, I would never take this from her. The communication was there. I love that about anyone I'm dealing with. If we could communicate, we could talk. I love that. That's top tier for me. Like communication is A1 for me. So she presented the communication, and I was like, "Yo, this ain't who she said it was. I mean, this is not who she was supposed to be." But I just let it rock. So I take my accounttality for that. But I'm
Now,
a
was
man.
you talking with this head or the other head?
Now I'm talking with this head. I'm talking with this head.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Have you moved on?
yeah, I've been moved on. Like I'm
Uh,
fine. I've
no,
moved
I'm
on.
like, are you with somebody today? Like
Oh
that's
yes, yes,
a
yes,
situation.
yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
what is they take on this? I'm sorry if I cut
No,
you off.
no. Mm.
um from the because I'm gonna say it like this. There's the only way I can say it. With men, when we talk, women won't believe it, but when you show them proof, they be like, "Oh shit, you telling the truth." Like she's the issue. So with my new girlfriend, she was like, "Yo, you show me what I need to see." She's witnessed stuff like lies in front of her own eyes, and she's like, "Yo, like when will it end? Like why is she doing this? The kids come first. The kids should be number one." And
Does she think that your ex still wants you?
yeah, she thinks that. She thinks that, but I told her I don't think so because who she's with, I look nothing like that. So it's like I don't think she want me.
Man, that ain't got nothing to do with
That ain't
nothing.
got nothing to
I
do with
don't
nothing.
think
That's
she
all
want
a
me.
facade. That's
I
a
don't
prop.
know, but
I think so because you cannot possibly be this invested
After all
in
these years.
keeping the craziness going if you are, really happy
How many
inside
how
with
many
somebody else.
years has it been for the madness?
um, I would say
See, too
10. But
long.
if I'm if not 10, I would say maybe because it's been long. It's been going on long before my daughter was born. So I would say about 9 years, maybe.
Mm,
That's too damn
that's
long.
way
That's
too long.
almost a decade.
Exactly,
Mm-mm.
and it's stressful. It's
I just
stressful.
wonder. Well, this man, he probably in the blind anyway. Most of them do be. They don't know that what's going on behind the scenes. They just know what they're being told. So he's irrelevant. But
Yeah, yeah,
That
he's
do you
definitely.
do you want more kids?
Yeah, well, my girlfriend now, I do. I do. Well, we do.
Okay.
Correction, we
Okay.
do.
Because I just always like to ask that just to see if this has really just ruined it for you in terms of you having to fight so hard to be the good father that you are. Um,
That's the thing. A lot of my friends say, "Yo, why do you want to go through it again?" I'm like, because I was ripped of a father. I was ripped of so much with my kids. I was ripped of that. And if I could have God bless me and my girl, and we have have a kid, then I'm down for it. God know
fair
my heart.
enough.
Because if God didn't know my heart, my son wouldn't have went into that courtroom and tell the judge and his attorney that he missed me, he want to be around me, he loves spending time with me. My kid wouldn't have said that. Because we all know kids don't lie. And the kid would have went in there, oh, I don't want to be around my dad. I don't want to see him. I can't stand him. My son ain't do none of that. My
Hmm.
son stood 10 toes down for me, and I respect him for that. But it's just that she got in his head and manipulated him, and I can't do nothing about it until he see the truth. I can't do anything.
Well, we just glad that she didn't
yeah,
get in there and manipulate him good enough for him to come to court and say those things. Because a lot of times kids be under that spell,
yeah.
thinking that their father is bad and this and that because they've been told. But
He'll come
I
around.
mean,
He'll come around. When
yeah,
he do, just make sure you
he's getting
prepared.
older. He gonna get in his own relationships. You still his father. You still gonna be there to have some input, and he'll see. He'll know the difference because women is different for a boy
Mm,
with his mom. When it's a lot of trauma bonding there. That's just my take on it. That's just what I think.
But
no,
he'll
I
come
agree.
around. You just got to be prepared, to be patient with him and answer the questions.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
know.
show them receipts.
Yeah, I
That
got
big
them.
pile
Yeah,
of receipts.
and that's what I'm waiting for more than anything. A female friend asked her, she's like, "Yo, if your son came to you and he want to know everything, you willing to give him the proof?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" In a heartbeat,
Yeah.
a heartbeat.
And
I
they
have
they be,
a
they want the real truth. They don't want no nothing. You got to give
Right.
them the real.
Give
You
them
can't
exactly, and that's
sugarcoat it.
why. And that's why if I show those receipts, he don't got to go by what I'm saying. Just go by what me and your mother, our conversation is.
Yep.
That will give you everything you need to know about what really happened.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, Jay
Thank you
Rich.
so much for sharing with us. And
Yes, Thank you.
Keep us posted. If you want to reach back out and give us an update and let us know how it's going, we're more than willing to hear your story again. You're more than welcome to come on our platform to share some things for other fathers that you think is going through the same thing. That's why we do this. So thank you for your
Yeah.
transparency and thank you for rocking with us tonight.
Thank you. But I want to share one thing to all the dads out there that's listening, that's watching. Whatever you going through with your kid's mother, when they come at you, they hit you, they verbally go at you, just walk away. Because if you only lift your hand, you going to jail. You going to jail.
You going to jail.
You going to jail. So that's all I want
Yeah.
to share for all the other fathers out there. And I salute all real fathers out there that's doing what they doing despite what we're going through. But we're rare out there, but we're around. We're out here. We're
Mm-hmm.
definitely out here.
Appreciate that.
The proof
Thank
is
you.
there. Thank
All
you
right.
so
Have a
much.
good
Enjoy
night,
your
man.
night.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night. Salute. Salute.
Peace.
Peace.
All
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
y'all.
Y'all.
See?
What y'all need to take from Jay Rich is he acted fast. And that's what a lot of fathers don't do. He acted fast and he got the results that he wanted. Now, is he still going through some of the bull? I mean, that's just all part of the game.
Yeah.
But with them court papers, it's hard to deny
Right.
his
Because if he didn't
rights.
have that, where would he be? Think
Exactly.
about that. Think about where you are and where could you be if you haven't taken action to go fight for your kid.
But if anybody else want to step up and share their story, man, just click the link in the comment section, man, and come on up. If not, peace. No, we out of here though. If y'all don't want to share y'all stories with us tonight. But yeah, Jay Rich, man, that was good info, man. And walk away. It ain't good, man, to just sit up there and just be arguing with crazy. You can't reason with crazy. You, you ain't gonna do nothing but put yourself down this rabbit hole, man. And it's gonna be even harder for you to get to your kids. So, but hit the link if you want to share your story. If not, me and my wife are finna get up out of here.
Boy, in this life.
All right, y'all. Good night.